It's week 7 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on NYJ Harris, who's one of the best in the league at running the ball, sitting in fourth. It's the Steelers and the Jets under the lights on Sunday night.
While the sun is set, there's still plenty of light in the stadium for this prime-time contest. We've waited all day for this one, haven't we, Brock? It's time for the NFL on EA Sports. So glad y'all could join us for this game. Kate, Scott, and Brock here on the call for it, and we're expecting quite a bit of offensive gamesmanship, partner. Some veteran savvy out there. Both of our starting quarterbacks have spent quite a long time in this league, and they've got plenty of experience to show for it.
Yeah, I like the way you say that right there. Gamesmanship and veteran savvy. Father Time, he chases down these skill guys. It's a game that's getting younger and younger, right? Because, well, it's hard to be as fast as you've been when you were a rookie. But as a quarterback, you've got to use your years of experience both these guys have to play this game from the neck up and still play it at a high level.
Kickoff taken at the 3. Uh-oh, it's a fumble on the opening kick. And the fumble recovery is made. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. They're led out by the 4-time MVP who's been in this league since 2005, Aaron Rodgers.
He gave us all the excitement we could hope for last week, but it wasn't all in a good way, at least for his team. Never knew if his throws were going to end in a touchdown or turnovers, and he had a couple of both by the end of the loss. You don't want him to lose that gunslinger mentality. You just want him to be a little more thoughtful with each and every decision.
They'll start this one out with Hall. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. That stop made by T.J. Watt. We'll look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 27. He's got the hook up to Devontae Adams. Give him 30 yards on that one. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
First down, Rodgers. And a man is there to knock that away.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Shotgun snap, a gift to Hall. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even ripped through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
We give to Hall on the draw. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the first. 7 yards there, but even after that, still a chunk to go on fourth down. Greg Zuerlein going to try to knock this through for the Jets. You better get all of this one. It's got a ways to go. Has the distance, but headed well left. No good. And we continue to await our opening score of this ballgame.
Well, once you get out beyond 50 yards, everything in the process has got to be perfect. It's a good effort, but it's going to wind up off the mark.
The Steelers and NYJ Harris making their return to the field. And he's been carrying a great campaign now into the heart of this season. He's hitting top 5 in rushing yardage. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. On the carry, this is NYJ Harris. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. 2nd and 3 now. Harris once more. And he's able to get it past midfield and down into the Jets side. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
A 3rd down run with Harris. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, well, sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
Less than a yard needed here on 4th. Here's Harris. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play. No problem converting on 4th.
1st and 10 from the 41. So now they're going to throw with Wilson. Throw secured by George Pickett. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. They strike for 23 yards. And they'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And not much for him there. He's down to the 15-yard line. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Wilson to throw it. He brings it in. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Trying to run in, Harris. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Complete on the option. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Harris. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. It's a gain of 2, and that's going to bring up 4th and goal.
This front, well, they've done a good job bending and not breaking. First down, didn't score. Second down, didn't score. And now 3rd and goal, can't find the end zone either.
Here we go, 4th and goal inside the 1.
19.
Staying on the ground with Harris. And he gets in, touchdown. The Steelers have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Najee Harris, the touchdown. Once it became goal-to-goal, Brock, that field goal team just didn't feel like they were ever going to see the field. This team was committed to making a statement on the opening series, even if it meant leaving the offense out there on 4th and goal.
Yeah, I think that's really well said, Kate, for a couple reasons. Number one, you do get a chance to finish, right? So you do all this work to get there, you want to finish it. But you also know if you don't get it, well, you set your opponent up with some really bad field position. I love that decision.
Chris Boswell for the point after. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Now Boswell on to send this away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. They could only set up a lengthy field goal attempt their last possession, Brock, so some room to improve in how far they can advance the football here. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Hall. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Blitz coming for Rodgers. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
Rodgers throwing on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 23 yards. 1st down, Jets.
So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. 7-0 is our score. Time for the second quarter of play. It's Jets football. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. As a man, it's Tyler Conklin. And he's taken down at the 30. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work. help reset those chains.
On first down, here comes Hall. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Brought to the ground by Dante Jackson.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
They give on second to Hall. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Madden stopped by Alex Highsmith. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. So now here's 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Rodgers. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Mika Fitzpatrick has got it.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First carry for the versatile vet Cordero Patterson. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
Quite the start to that drive, huh? The first play sets him up now at the 38. Running behind center with Harris. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
NYJ takes this one. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Wilson out of the pistol. Caught by Freiermuth. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First and 10 give to Harris. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Ross off the play fake. It's taken in by Washington. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They're giving out to NYJ. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Pass taken in by Fryermuth. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have first and goal to figure out.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. Down real close to that goal line at the 1.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Now it's second and goal from the 1. Harris. And he is into the end zone for a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers parlay the interception into points. Najee Harris, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
That one right down the middle. And the Steelers double their lead to 14. Now Boswell on to send this away. Xavier Gibson now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Jets out to begin another drive. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. They're out and set, first and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
You just feel this defense starting to come alive, don't you, Kate? Got their first turnover last time out. Now they put their first sack on the board. In big plays on that side of the ball, well, they can come in bunches. Defense sure hopes to keep this faucet going, and the offense wants to turn the spigot off immediately.
Not on the same page with his tight end. So now it's going to be third and long.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Third and long, Rodgers. Out to his wideout, it's a screen. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line. It's the 2-minute warning now from Acrisure. The Jets with a likely punt coming up. So on fourth down, the Jets turn to a fan favorite. It's Thomas Morstead to punt it away. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Steelers returning their offense and this running back to the field. And while one sideline has 0 points, this offense, wow, they have had 0 issues so far getting into that end zone.
They are rolling right now, Kate, and unless there's a speed bump on the immediate horizon, things are at risk of getting out of hand.
The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, first and 10. They'll start with a give to Harris. And he gets his offense forward to the 44-yard line. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have second down and 3.
7-yard pickup brings up second and 3 at the 44-yard line.
Russ is going to cook here. That's going to be caught by Washington. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
They'll try to run it with Harris. And he tried to power it forward, but I don't think he got it. The Jets take their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. A run here with Harris. First down and more past the 40. And he gets this down to the 38. The Steelers calling their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, here's Russ. That's intercepted near the sideline. Chuck Clark has it. And the Jets will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
A lot of defenders got some offense in their background, and it's been my life experience that they'll tell you about it. And right there, he put it on display. He brought in the pick and instantly became a runner, searching for the open field to add a little something to the return.
The Jets getting one final go at it on offense here before halftime. They still have access to a pair of timeouts and a little time left, too, so points very much still in play here before the half. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Into the hands of Garrett Wilson. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Rodgers here from the gun. This will be caught by Adams. And he's going to take this across. Touchdown, New York. The Jets make it a one-score game before halftime. Devontae Adams, the touchdown. Greg Zuerlein for the point after try. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jets chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Jets 7.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. So we arrive at halftime here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers leading after 2. Now, no need for halftime. We'll just keep it right here and get started with the third quarter. Zerline has it all teed up and ready to send it away. Calvin Austin on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Steelers and this running back headed back out for a new series. And the running lanes, and they've been hazardous. Not quite the decorated collection of highlights from him that we're going to look at here. Those big plays, the explosive runs where he leads an offense, just haven't been there for him in this one. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Carried by Harris here to start the drive. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Give to Patterson out of the shotgun. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. Five DBs out there for the Jets. 3rd down. Wilson now from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 44. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Shotgun handoff for Patterson. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
On 1st down, it's Wilson. He's on the move.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
2nd and 3 now. This is Harris. He's got room to roam here. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. He's been a fixture for them all game, and all signs indicate, Brock, he's going to remain one in the time we've got left.
Yeah, they've leaned on him in certain spots, and he has shouldered the load oh so well. Put together a game that everyone's happy with.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers grow the lead coming out of halftime. DeAndre Hopkins, the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers double their lead to 14. Now Boswell on to send this away. And it flies over the end zone and out of play. In the past, it's a touchback to the 25. The new rules starting this season, Brock, so it's now going to be at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now here's Rodgers. That's brought in by Lazard.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 32. Floats that one, but they couldn't connect. Looking for the back that time. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Went for 48 with his first kick, and this one looks even better. His work begins at the 31. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Steelers will take over possession. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First down throw from Wilson. Snared by his running back, it's Najee Harris. That's 16 on the pickup. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
On play action now, Wilson. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Hopkins put in motion left. 2nd and 10 now. Buys top, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
In a situation like this, you got to be a fixer. I mean, this game is hard, and you get into passing, known passing situations, it gets even more difficult. But when you don't get rid of the ball and you take another sack, you make this 3rd down a near impossibility.
Now Wilson on 3rd and long. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Jets are starting deep from their own territory here. They'll start this one out with Hall. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
From the 16. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. From the shotgun, Rodgers. That throw finds Conklin. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Punt team on the field. Thomas Morstead will kick it away. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. Oh, putting him in the spin cycle. He found some space to do a little damage there before they bottle him up. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And they'll get ready to go on offense. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set 1st and 10. They'll run with Harris. And he fights his way forward to get this to the 45. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
Second and 4. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Wilson now, 1st and 10. That one complete to Hopkins. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
That's the end of the 3rd on Sunday night. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. They've got 1st down from the 31. Wilson now off the play action. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful. Right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. In this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be...
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the Big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, and quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward. That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up. So out now comes the punter. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. He'll take it in short of midfield. And a nice return has him looking at a very short field now. A nice 15-yard pickup on the return. And the Steelers have a short field in front of them as they take over. Ball at the 33 for first down. Harris gets it on the draw. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a first down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass. Well, they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
Shotgun snap for Wilson. That throw finds Pickens. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Wilson on third down. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Steelers first down.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
This is Patterson on the give. And he has this one down to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. On the move, headed right. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Trust. Kate, it is such a big part of playing the quarterback position. Yeah, you got to trust you can make the right reads in the passing game, but sometimes these little runs that just get that first down, it gains further equity, further trust with your play caller, and most importantly, gives you a first down for the offense.
Trying to run in, Harris. And he pushed for it, but they managed to stop him at the 2. 3 yards on the gain. Now they just need 2 more on 2nd and goal.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Ball at the 2 here for 2nd and goal. So now they're going to throw with Wilson. And got his man. That's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers have likely locked up the win right there. George Pickens, the touchdown. He hung in there as long as he could. A lot of quarterbacks would have bailed out. And it was what you talk about, Brock, that courage that kept the chant for the touchdown alive.
Yeah, that touchdown's going to show up on his stat sheet making the catch, or the quarterback stat sheet for making the throw. But, hey, can we put some touchdowns up there for the big boys up front? It was their blocking and buying of time for that play that led to the score.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's a return from the 7. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. To the air here on first down, Rodgers. He'll get this complete to Lazard. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Here's 2nd and 2. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
First down, Rodgers. Malachi Corley reels it in. And he gets it past the 50 and down to the Steelers' side of the field.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Throwing once again, Rodgers. Caught by Lazard. And he goes out a little short of the 40. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. Again, Rodgers. That's brought in by Lazard. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Offense up to the line fast. That's caught. It's Breece Hall. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Offense in the hurry up here. Throwing again. It's Rodgers. Hall there to haul it in. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage once again. That 7-yard line as they get set. 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Rodgers. And he will score. It's a New York touchdown. The Jets get it back to within 2 possessions. Garrett Wilson with the touchdown. Point after converted by Zerline. And the Jets get it back to a 14-point game. Well, don't look up at the clock, everybody. That is certainly not their friend as they get set to try an onside kick. And this is recovered by the Steeler hands team. Well, kind of feels like we're starting to get to that point, Brock.
And what point is that, Kate?
You know, the bold point of the game where you have to try something bold could end up becoming a play that finally sinks them, though.
Yeah, it's time for desperation. Without a defensive stop here, it's really hard to lay out the scenarios for much success. Every second matters now when you don't come up with that onside kick.
A give left side. Here's Harris. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Solid 4-yard gain there. And now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. That brings us to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers close to picking up their 5th win. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Harris once more. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Staying on the ground with Harris. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. The Steelers set to punt it. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Oh, they are loving this one. It flies out of bounds, and it wasn't too far off the end zone. They're going to say it crossed at the 3. The Jets offense now set to take over. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Throwing from near his own goal line. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Left side cut by Lazard. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum to keep that defense on its heels.
1st and 10, gotta score immediately here. Only one timeout left, and that clock winding down. Short pass brought in. And he's gonna be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Jets moving quickly, trying to get the offense set. Wilson's got it. And he'll get it up to the 27. Jets moving quickly, trying to get the offense set. Big shot is hauled in. Feet are inbounds. Oh, what a play! That one goes for 31 yards and a 1st down when all is said and done.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Dumped off to his running back. And that is a big hit right after that catch, so the play limited to maybe just a couple yards. Timeout called by the Jets. That's their final one. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Rodgers here from the gun. He'll get this one to Adams. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
Looking to throw it. Able to hit home, complete. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag.
Holding offense.
Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. And the Steelers going nickel, 3rd down. Now to throw. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Desperation time here on fourth. Okay, and they get to him and haul him down. What a play, forcing the sack, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the fourth. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback? Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So make a check in the win column for the Steelers. And the sting of losing such a close one the week before, apparently still at the forefront of their minds. They got out there and rebounded nicely with a win this week. Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Pittsburgh.